Sean, can you first just introduce yourself so the viewers who are watching this video can know a little bit about you, what you do, your business?
Absolutely. I'm Sean Seide. I have a fitness coaching company for women. We've been doing online coaching for the last 5 years now. This is our fifth year this year, but we work exclusively with women and we focus on resistance training, nutrition, performance, helping women get to a lean, athletic build.
Cool, cool, cool. Now let's just jump right into the point. And so, what's been the numbers for the past 60 days? So, like, what's kind of the success you've seen by going through this Whale Flow program?
Absolutely. So going through Whale Flow has been very helpful in terms of our content, our strategies, our systems, refining our offer, making sure that we are not just a commodity, but we are one of one and we stand out in the industry. This has really helped us in our sales process and bringing people on. In the last 60 days, we've done exactly $51,181. So just over 50K in the last 60 days.
That's amazing. Because that's one of the main things, like, especially in the fitness space, there are a lot of people, and yeah, you like it's easy to sound like everybody else, even if you like niche down more to like helping women or like helping men. So yeah, crafting and positioning you as one of one through content, through stories, which you already did quite well even before we started, is one of the crucial things. Otherwise, people have no reason to choose you, and they have like 100 other people to choose. So
100%.
looking at like before you kind of came on board, like what were the three biggest challenges that you were facing in your day-to-day operations in your business?
I would say my biggest struggle was definitely content creation. You've definitely helped tremendously with that in helping me create shot lists, giving me ideas of like how to structure lots of different examples of like what other successful creators are doing, and then we put our own spin on it. I would say that that has been the most helpful aspect for sure. Other things that we've been working on that just come to my mind is just the content has probably been the most impactful, but also doing client interviews. So we interview all of our clients, see how they're doing, our successful clients. We post those to YouTube. Those have been really good in the sense of like pre-framing potential clients who are coming on board. As also people who don't close right away on the first sales call. I sent those over this week being like, hey, watch this. Everybody who's watched them has been like, okay, wow, I need to join. Because when they hear it from somebody else, it's a little bit more impactful. I feel like doing a full interview than just like a traditional before and after. The before and afters help a lot too, but yeah, that's been really good too. So I would say those are the biggest things that we've been able to focus on in our time together. That's been very helpful.
So yeah, attention and just trust. Yeah, the trust, like we all know that we're kind of in the trust recession. A lot of people are talking about it. It's present all around us. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Client before and afters are great for just social media pictures, all that stuff, getting in front of like people. But yeah, client interviews are the thing that will actually pre-sell them, because yeah, the best marketing comes from your clients. It doesn't necessarily come from me as a coach or you as a coach. So what would you say? You touched it just a little bit before, like you mentioned yeah, client interviews and content. Like how did our coaching program really help you overcome those problems?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the content perspective, I found myself I would know my niche very well in the sense of like how to talk to them, what they want, what their pain points are. But the actual act of like filming, sitting down, directing, and content creation, I feel like were not my strong suits. You really help with that in the Whale Flow program, showing me like, okay, this is like a shot list. I've never even heard of the concept of a shot list before, where you would literally be like, okay, for this section, we're going to have B-roll. For this section, it's going to be talking head. For this section, it's going to be a client example. These different things really helped a ton in the editing process, and the reels in which that we've done that, they've been a lot more successful, and we have a lot in the pipeline that are going to be posted soon, which I'm excited to post. But I would say that one was really helpful. The client interview questions of like what questions to ask, how to go about asking questions or asking the clients to do these. We also sent them a little bit of a gift for everyone who did it after they had done it, so that was cool. But yeah, I would think those have been like the main areas. And then also, honestly, just like you holding me accountable. Like right now I'm in a position in my business where I'm looking to start working less in my business and more on my business. And right now I'm wearing a lot of the hats. I'm doing the sales, the marketing, the fulfillment. I'm doing a lot of stuff and capping how much money we can make. And yes, we're in a position where we're doing quite well, but I want to be able to do even better. In order to do that, I need to have more hiring. And you've just been really good at kind of like being the quarterback role, I would say, of just like explaining, okay, Sean, this is where you excel. This is where you do well. This is the positions that you need to be hiring, and just holding me accountable. Like when I've been slow to respond, you double message me and be like, hey, like you said you were going to do XYZ, like get on it. So I really do appreciate that kind of stuff because, you know, I need accountability too. So yeah, I would say those have been like the major things that I've benefited from in the program.
That's amazing. That's amazing to hear. Now, if we took like business from a side, like your coaching business, like how did your I know you have a family. Like how did your life benefit outside the business just by going through this program, working together?
Absolutely. So obviously, like money is a wonderful thing in the sense of it's a tool that allows for more freedom, right? So
Exactly.
having more money in the bank account is always nice. Right now, this week we're going to go on a trip with my family, and it feels good to be able to step away for about 4 or 5 days. So that's really cool. We have a bunch of family coming over for my brother's wedding, and typically I feel like Sean of old would be very much like not wanting to go out because I feel like I can't step away. Whereas this, I made the action and I made the choice. Like I'm going to take the week to just be present with my family who are all, you know, getting older now. They mean a lot to me and I want to spend time with them. So that's been really cool. Also, I think just this is exactly what I needed in the sense of like the step forward in my business, because I know you said to step forward side of the business, how it's benefited my life. But for me, my business and myself are so interconnected that a lot of my stress in my personal life comes from my business. So having clarity on like what I need to do and being able to take steps towards that has alleviated a lot of stress and given me just more certainty and more confidence that I'm I'm on the right track and I just need to like execute on the things that you said in order to be where I want to be.
Amazing, amazing. Now, if you kind of look at from a bird's eye view perspective, like what's been your favorite part of like us working together and you just being a part of this?
Honestly, I think I really like this, and I was saying this to Rosa as well, is we just love how much you care and how you're constantly in pursuit of leveling up your skills. Like I see you leveling up your marketing. I see you leveling up your sales. I see you getting better at handling objections. I see you getting better at systems and improving your offer. So you are a student of the game. You know, you are really looking at becoming a better business owner yourself. And then you translate the lessons that you learn yourself in the practice of going through the experience to us. So like you have that authority in the sense of like you're actually doing it. So I really like that. And I just appreciate your demeanor, your level of care, your follow up, your presence. Like you've been great to work with. So I really appreciate everything that you do.
Amazing, amazing. Now, if we kind of look at it, like what would be the next? How do you see the next 6 months of like your business growing and how we're gonna be continuing working together? You mentioned a bit that we're taking or kind of we're pulling you out of the business so you can actually work on the business, working on hiring of a videographer, editor, getting in a setter. But yeah, how do you see everything going in the next 6 months?
I would love to accomplish all of that within the next 6 months. And I feel like if I did that, I would just have my business at such another level, because if I had a setter booking me hypothetically 5 to 10 sales calls a week, I think I could definitely be hitting 50K months, which would allow me to have a videographer and not stress about that as a payment, because videographer is a more expensive hire. So if I could have somebody say on the payroll for like $3,000 to $4,000 a month, but they're doing all of my content, that for me, like content for me is probably the aspect that I enjoy the least. When I say content, like I like going into my car, doing a selfie video, letting it rip. That is not really going to cut it in today's day and age with content. Like most people need more like highly produced, highly directed, more science behind their content, in the sense of like you need to have a really good hook, you need to be changing cuts, you need to have a lot of edits. That's not my strength. So I would love to be able to like hire someone and be able to afford that comfortably and like not worry about that as being such an expensive hire. So I think that, a setter, and then filling up my coaches. Like I ultimately want the coaches that we've hired to have fully loaded rosters, to have enough money to feed their families and feel really good about where they're at so they stick around long term, but they're also just really enjoying our company and our mission and our vision of like what we want to give to the world. You know, like I want to have that be there. So that would be my dream. I would say if we could get that in the next, honestly, 6 to 12 months. I know there's a lot of work to really get this into a well-oiled machine. I think if we could make all that happen, then we'd be in a great place.
Amazing, definitely achievable, and we're gonna do everything we can together for sure. Now, for anybody that's watching this video right now and it's stuck in their business, like for coaches who are watching this, like what would you tell your younger self? Like, what's that one piece of advice that would help you get to the next level?
I think one of the biggest pieces of advice is just being willing to invest in yourself and in mentorship for so many reasons. One, when you pay attention. Also, if you can learn through the mistakes of other people, you're just going to accelerate your progress so much faster. When you pay, you're held better accountable. We all need direction in life. Coaches need coaches in fitness, but also in business as well. I've worked with many coaches, and every time I do, I go up another level. You know, my first 0 to 5K, I had a coach. My first 5 to 10K, I had a coach. 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 25 to 30. Like, I've always getting coaches slightly more and more information all the way up to, you know, the best that we had ever done, I think was like 45 or 48,000 or something. And I want to make that like a staple. And I know that I can't do that by myself. So it's important that you're always reinvesting back in yourself, because there's always new things happening in marketing and sales and business. There's always things that you can be learning. There's no like, I do one course and I figure it out forever. You have to figure it out continuously and continuously be a student of the game. The best people in the game are always learning and always investing back into themselves.
For sure, yeah, I can't agree more than that. This year also spent a bunch of multiple five figures on mentors alone, and yeah, you just, as you said, like it just skyrockets the whole growth because you're learning from others, people who've been in the game many years before you, and who pay attention every single day. So yeah, like right now, like what would you say to anybody who's thinking about like joining my program, working with me, but it's kind of on a fence?
I would just say absolutely just do it, because you are worth the investment. You are very caring. And where I will say is especially why I like working with you, Martin, and I feel like I have a lot of connection with you. Sometimes, you know, if you join a mentorship or something, you get passed off to somebody else. And I understand businesses might grow. And, you know, I'm sure you will get to that point one day when you have, you know, a full team under you as well. But right now, I feel like I have such a high level of touch points and access to you that I'm dealing with the guy, you know, so it just makes me take the advice that much more seriously versus if I had been passed off onto somebody else. I think that's just natural. But yeah, I think you are the guy, you are the source of information, and being able to like just reach out and text you when I have a question and you get back really quick. Like I know that you're like me, where like you live on your computer, you know, 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day sometimes. So, you know, just knowing that if I have a question, like I can just pop in and ask you, and like you're going to get back to me with a good answer. You'll send me a loom, like stuff like that. Like it's just so worth it. Like it just shows that you care and like you really want me to succeed.
Appreciate it. Really glad to hear that. Now we're gonna kind of wrap up this video, and as you saw throughout this interview, we made Sean over $50,000 in less than 60 days without spending a single dollar on ads. Now in the upcoming month, we're also gonna implement our ad strategy for him, so he's gonna be able to hit that 50K month. If you want to experience the same results in your coaching business, consider booking a call with me by clicking the first link in the description below, so we can just talk about exactly how we can implement our Whale Flow system into your coaching business as well.